Okay, for this next speech, I wanted to give a story of why I got interested in working in employment law. So, I remember at one time I moved down to good old Tallahassee, Florida, and when I got to work for the employer and stuff like that, I was identifying myself with the rest of the employees, and they literally hired me on affirmative action. I was the only biracial employee over there. It was an American citizen of Dominican descent, so immediately I started engaging in concerted activities and started talking to other coworkers, letting them know, um, don't you think it would be nice, you know what I'm saying, if we had more diversity over here, more representation of other people working over here? This would make it a better work environment. And management got wind of that, and they didn't want to promote me when I applied for vacancy, even though at the time I had my undergrad, so I personally experienced a lot of unfair labor practices initially when I started working in general. So based on that, that eventually inspired me to go find employment at the National Labor Relations Board. And I always like posing the question, and I always tell people, wouldn't you want to work somewhere where it's a perfect work environment and you don't have to worry about getting reprimanded for talking to other employees? I know I would. So I mentioned that. I also wanted to get in depth if I get the opportunity, because I know we only have 5 to 8 minutes to give the speech, to share some statistics with people. So I think unfair labor practices is a big problem here in the U.S. right now that a lot of people might not be aware of. And I think I'm going to see if I could share some of these stats that I got from the Bureau of Statistics that anybody can find online. That I wanted to share. Did you know that 26% of workers in America are paid less than what they legally required by minimum wage in a work week? I was surprised people normally engage in concerted activity on that and get reprimanded for it, and they come to our agency and stuff like that. So minimum wage violations are not trivial magnitude. I wanted to share. 6% of workers in America are underpaid by more than $1 per hour, which is mind blowing. Over a quarter of workers that have worked more than 40 hours during a week, of those 76% are not paid the legally required overtime by their employers. Like minimum wage violation, overtime violation of substantial magnitude. The average worker with a violation had put 11 hours of overtime hours that were either underpaid or not paid at all. Um, they also got off the clock violations that people will normally engage and say, hey, I think you know saying off the clock violations need to get resolved. Management gets wind of it and they reprimand people. So nearly a quarter of workers in America come in early, and you know, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people over there who show up to work early. I know I do. I normally supposed to start working at 8:15, and I usually try to show up at 8 and or stay late. I've done that as well. Shift during the previous work week. Of these workers, 70% did not receive any pay at all for the work they performed outside their regular shift. And there's meal break violations that a lot of people haven't been aware of neither. The large majority of Americans, 86%, that have worked enough consecutive hours to be legally entitled to at least one meal break during the previous week. Of these workers, more than two-thirds, which is 69%, received no break at all, had the break short, and you know you've experienced that, were interrupted by the employer. Can you do this while you at lunch? Or work during the break. People have done that too. I used to work a compressed schedule where my hour break I just ate and worked, which constitutes a violation to break to be a break violation. There's also pay stub and illegal deduction. I think could go on and on with some of these statistics that you find in the Bureau of Statistics online if you look it up and stuff like that. So my urgency is this. I would tell people if you need to have this action, because the only way the employer in my mind will ever learn of what's going on and stuff like that is if you go over there and you fight the good fight. You say, listen, I know my rights, especially us who are legal students who have been taking some of these employment classes or whatever. I know if you're going to engage in concerted activity and you will not violate my rights. And this is the only way it's going to change. I think if you don't fight for your own rights and stuff like that, from here on out in the future, employers are going to continue doing what they're doing. Budgets for these administrative agencies are going to keep minimizing because the public's not finding no charges, and the employers are going to have free reign and stuff like that. It's going to go back to how employment used to be back in the days. So it's like, who knows if you're getting your decent hour. So I urge my public, please, if you feel like your rights are being violated, contact the National Labor Relations Board, speak to your information officer, and file a charge. And I'll leave you guys on that note. Okay.